Uh, Cauliflower, I think. Is that it? Huh. Okay. That's your Wall Street bet. Oh shit. Got a lot of crops today. Okay, whatever your kink. We could actually get a horse too if we wanted, which I think we can ride. No, we have to make a stable. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different thing, I think. Also, I think we can. I seem to recall hearing you could find like dinosaur eggs or something. But I mean, at this point, I think our biggest thing is just kind of exploring what other options we've got. You know, try to, build other buildings we have, get a slime lab, see what that does. We've got the money and we've got a lot of resources. We may as well, kind of achievement hunt this a little bit, figure out what we can get. God damn it, this is going to be like a massive fucking payday. It's 20 days left, by the way, so yeah, only just make sure it's all stuff that'll grow in time. Maybe as well just get like one type of crop. Actually, maybe want to get one that grows even faster, just since we may have some more openings in the near future. Or pick up some fast-growing seeds, too. Oh, it's the really bitchy guy. He'll open up. Okay, so I'm selling a metric fuck ton of goods. Let me go check the. Okay, none of the stuff in the greenhouse is ready yet, but I'll water all of it. I'm currently holding over 100 of them, so yeah, those would work. They're good money. They pop out multiple ones each time, so... Hey, I think your house is done, too. Oh. Well. New item in stock. It's called an auto grabber. It can milk your cows and goats and shear your sheep all on its own. Oh. The one we have shears sheep, too? Sheer lunacy. That was a very generous laugh. I'm not sure that joke really warranted it. Well, I appreciate it. I'm not trying to... I'm just saying, if anything, I think you're being very kind. Alright. We should have all the money tomorrow. All the money. I'm also going to go see if I can pay for... Actually, no, you need to go see if you can pay for a new house, I think. Here, I can handle that if you want to do the housing thing. Yeah, I'd take wood, hardwood, and stone, probably. I don't know which ones you need, but I think those are the usual ones. Or actually, are you still planting? I'm going to head ahead to Robin and check what the house upgrade needs, because I'm at the same step. Shit, alright. That wasn't enough? God damn. We did more than I thought. One. We're Dalton that way. Okay, so 50,000 gold, 150 pieces of hardwood. Ooh. We might have that. It's not like we're running low on cash. Yeah, so it pays to have a bunch extra. Especially as you may not be open tomorrow. Just hardwood. 150 of them. That's it. 50,000 gold, 150 hardwood. Use it. If you can get there in time, I think we want to get your house upgraded. Yep, I can handle that when I get back to the place. I'm just doing a quick mining jaunt. It's a home. It's a home, Frank. Too good for your home? Answer me. Suck my white ass ball. From Happy Gilmore? Yeah. It's your home. Too good for your home? Answer me. Three days, I think. You're like the best. You're like the best and worst type of customer. I told you how long it would take. You started walking out of the shop before I even finished talking. And now you just stand here every day and glare at me judgmentally while talking to each other in funny voices and making weird references to shit. I have sat here pounding this same section of wall for like a week, and all you guys do is pick crops and shout Aqua Teen references to each other. This is really awkward. Exactly. We are sophisticates. I'm actually not entirely sure if that's a word or not, but it sounds funny. Why am I still so hungry today? I am, yeah. I think 'cause I just ate, like, on the early side. And I'm also doing, like, usually on weekends I just make pizza, since I can make it really, like, light. But for some reason I decided I wanted to make tacos, so I made, like, a ton of taco meat. And tacos are delicious, but they're not quite as filling, even if I make them gigantic. Yeah. I was gonna say, at the very least, that would mean you'd have some sort of vengeance on. Hmm. Oh, shit. They worth more than deer or something? I think, like, the meat would make... I feel like that just doesn't make much sense, like, economically. It feels like the antlers wouldn't be as expensive as the meat. Hmm. Yeah, I had a moment there, too. Yeah, a lot of other sources give you more. The only reason it's kind of awesome there is you can do it endlessly. Maybe as like a very rare drop, but I don't think so usually. But remember how our farm at one point had like big stumps and like old logs laying down? Those gave a ton of hardwood. Yep. It's not bad, really. I mean, that's still probably well over a few hundred a season if you actually did it. Yeah, I swear they tweaked damage numbers or something. I do not remember losing this kind of health. No, just the normal one. That's what's kind of freaking me out. Hmm. Well, you could go around and just like scythe up a bunch. Just don't clear out full patches. I can hear you just scything away. Yeah, and as long as you don't clear it out entirely, it all comes back pretty quick, I think. Where are our dwarf scrolls? Do we still have those? No, I'll toss them there. Fair number. We may need some more of them again at some point, but... Bless you. Not bad. Wait, you can? I'm gonna say, I don't know how to. I'd like to be able to move my bed. Oh, it's, yeah, sashimi. It's a type of, like, sushi, I think? It's a raw fish thing, I'm pretty sure. I actually don't know either. I'm gonna have to Google that. Either way. I'm actually looking forward to next season just so we can get a few more of the fruit trees dropping stuff. That does seem kind of familiar. Yeah. That would be like a perfect thing about an anthropomorphic toaster. I didn't actually, but I know there was a whole I mean, Fern Gully. Like there was a bunch of like kids movies that were honestly kind of freaky. You're gonna scar some kids or give them new fetishes. Yeah. Yeah, we should let the animals out more often so they'll eat the grass. We can. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause she's working on your house. Oh, the lady? Did she get anything good? I may go grab that. No, it's important to gather it, even if it's a small amount. I mean, that kind of makes getting it every day more important. Eh. As long as I want it, it is important. I suppose so. I do think that the sort of the universal mark of importance is, do I want it? Other people may disagree. Those people are wrong. Palestine? Yeah, because I mean, it kind of like sort of necessary to both religions, as far as I understand, which is limited. Yeah, and I mean, because both of them have the same kind of roots, I think, in many of their own traditions and shit. So, and I mean, it was one of those cases where, I mean, just because of how badly the Jews have been treated for many, many years, they basically decided at some point, fuck it, we want a holy land and we're going to fucking take it. And they did. There's actually, did you hear about the war that Israel got into with like every other country around them when they basically declared themselves Israel? No, this isn't. No, this is very recent. Israel is not an ancient place. It was like well within like I think the last like 50 years. But it was recent enough that when it happened, they had jets and shit like that. But every single country around Israel, like Egypt, Jordan, I think Jordan at least. But like Egypt was the big one. They all immediately ganged up on Israel to destroy it, like full on warfare. Israel beat all of them at the same time. And proceeded to take their territory as well. Like Israel basically was like, no, we're bigger now. Fuck all of you. Israel also, I mean, like I'm very much on the fence about it because I think I kind of see both sides as having some very legitimate points. But the one thing that I always thought was kind of funny as well is Israel has this big argument of like, no, we don't have nuclear weapons. They don't. They do, however, have nuclear warheads. And they happen to keep these nuclear warheads surprisingly close to some, oddly compatible ballistic missiles. So they don't technically have nuclear weapons that they could, deliver as like a missile. Yeah, they could have them about 5 minutes. And I mean, Israel is also like was paranoid enough due to its past experience that like they used to have their jet pilots sleep in their planes during shifts and shit like that so that they could literally always take off, with their entire idea being, oh, you might be able to hit us. We're going to nuke you if you do, though. Like, we're going to have our people ready enough that if you attempt to hit us, we are going to literally glass your entire country. Try us. we lived through the Holocaust. Like, they literally, their whole slogan was never again. And again, given past experience, I can't necessarily blame them, but I mean, they did quite literally take Palestine and like that land from other countries, like very unapologetically too. They basically, no, it's ours now, and we're gonna fucking kick you out of it. Stop us. So, yeah, yeah. It's also very much because there's a very heavy lobbying arm in the U.S. for Israel, and there's a lot of like Hasidic Jews and just large Jewish organizations that if you do not like support Israel, they will literally make their people not vote for. And they tend to be a very predictable voting bloc. So, like, pissing off Israel is basically a very easy way to lose a ton of votes quickly. Kind of like if you walked out and said, like, man, I love me some abortions. You're going to get, you might have some abortion people who support it being like, oh, that's good, glad to hear it. But they tend not to be nearly as, like, vitriolic and quick to vote as the people who, yeah. Oh, wait, I have a lot of completed quests. I never bothered to pick those up, I guess. But yeah, I don't know a heck of a lot about politics. I know enough to sort of be dangerous. Well, I'd encourage you at any point not to take anything I say as gospel. You may, if you get curious enough about something, definitely look it up to make sure that I'm, you may know there may be a significant liberal slant. So. I'm basically Ira Glass. I have literally listened to rap music about NPR before, which I think basically is some kind of crime. It's a good rap song, like in my opinion. I'm pretty sure it probably killed somebody who's a more authentic rap fan, but consider. Yeah, you can learn something cool from some of them. That Ted guy, I tell you. Maybe. That reminds me, I need to think of like better things to cook for lunch this week. Although I did figure out how to bring like tacos in a pretty edible form to work. Basically, I just bring the meat, which I can then microwave when I'm in there to kind of heat it back up, and a separate container full of like chopped up lettuce, onions, tomatoes, and just combine the two in like a layer of cheese on top of that I can just dump on it when it's still hot. usually a layer of rice beneath the meat, so I've got some kind of a starch to go with it, and then just kind of mix it all together.